After spending the night at the Wiesbadener hut, we woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and began our ascent. The weather was terrible. Cold, wet, unforgiving. But for an adventure like this, it was perfect. The first real challenge came quickly, crossing a raging mountain stream. One wrong step and it would be over. After hiking for more than an hour and a half, we finally reached the edge of the glacier. Time for our first break. We were roped together, keeping about 8 meters between each of us. That way, if someone were to fall into a crevasse, we could rescue them. There's something truly unique about walking across a glacier while tied to a rope. In total, we spent almost 2 hours on the ice, and during that time no one said a single word. Being out in nature with friends, yet somehow feeling completely alone, is something very special. It was a feeling I had never experienced before. The weather kept getting worse. Fog rolled in until we could barely see anything at all. At the end of the glacier, it was time for our second break. We had been on the move for almost 4 hours, and now came the final and hardest part. Loose scree, massive rocks and raw, untouched nature. We had to climb and find our own route, as there are no marked hiking trails at this altitude. Thankfully, we had an experienced mountain guide with us, who had already summited Piz Buin before. He showed us the way, which was absolutely crucial. It was cold, below freezing, making the rock slippery and the situation even more dangerous. During these climbing sections, the drop was hundreds of meters. Some of these moments were among the most dangerous of my life. After nearly 5 hours, we had finished the hardest section. The final elevation gain was surprisingly easy. Beautiful switchbacks leading all the way to the summit. Suddenly, the summit cross appeared out of the fog. You can't imagine what that moment feels like. On the last few meters, I was completely overwhelmed by happiness. At the summit, it was windy and cold. We wrote in the summit book, congratulated each other, took our summit photos, and prepared for the descent. Because when you reach the top, you're only halfway done. You still have to get back down. We started the descent, and you could argue that going down is even harder than going up, especially during the climbing sections. On our way down, we met another group of hikers. We were the first ones to reach the summit that day. After the rocky scree section, we reached the glacier again. We took one last break and prepared ourselves for the crossing. We put our crampons back on and roped up once more. As time passed, the weather improved and the fog lifted, giving us clear visibility again, which made the day even better. The view from the glacier was absolutely incredible, one of the most unique views I have ever seen in my life. In the daylight, the crevasses looked even more dangerous, and you could really feel how alive and constantly changing the glacier is. To be honest, during the descent I was completely exhausted. That's when I truly realized how demanding this hike had been. And then came an unexpected highlight. We saw an ibex. It was indescribably It was indescribably majestic to see the king of the mountains in raw nature. It is the most beautiful animal I have ever seen in the wild. Truly unforgettable. When we finally arrived back at the hut, we saw Piz Buin clearly for the first time that day. After that, we rode our bikes back down, which was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. This video took a long time to make, so a like would really mean a lot.